At TJLambrecht, your safety is everything. Everything starts and ends there, no exceptions. We believe that a safe environment is the basis for all success, and we embrace it as an integral facet of what we do and who we are. Before we get started, let's cover the basics of PPE. Hard hat, vest, safety glasses, gloves, and boots. And if you're working over water, don't forget a life vest. Let's take a look at some other situations. Notice the essentials here: face shield, gloves, earplugs, and depending upon the job, a respiratory mask may also be needed. PPE is the last line of defense to protect yourself in the workplace. Take care of it, and it will take care of you. Before operating any machine, you must first be trained. Training consists of reviewing the operator's manual, taking a written test, and passing a field test on that type of equipment. In addition to your training, be sure to go through the pre-operation checklist before operating heavy equipment. If your inspection uncovers a deficiency, notify your supervisor immediately. Always face the machine when mounting and dismounting, and remember the 3 points of contact. Use 2 hands and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand to ensure maximum control and safety. Once inside the vehicle, remember the following. Securely fasten your seatbelt. Make sure your pneumatic seat is properly adjusted for your weight and conditions on site. Also be sure to always remove the keys and throw the master switch every day after shutdown to secure the equipment. Master switches are in different locations on different machines. If you're unsure where yours is, ask your supervisor or job site mechanic. Vehicles must be operated in a safe and efficient manner. Haul road safety is critical to the project's safety, quality, and productivity. Notify your supervisor of any unsafe conditions on the haul road. And remember that loaded equipment always has the right of way. When communication is necessary, lower the blade or the bucket, turn off the machine, and climb down from the cab to talk. Housekeeping is crucial to safety. Loose trash can get wedged in the controls of your machine, preventing proper operation. The cab of your machine is your home away from home, and it should be treated as such. Keeping your cab clean not only contributes to your safety, it makes your workday more enjoyable. When it comes to your appearance, remember to remain professional. Wear jeans without holes, no shorts or loose clothing, and be sure your boots are laced. When driving a TJLambrecht vehicle, remember to drive cautiously and courteously. TJLambrecht will request a copy of your driving record from the appropriate state agency at a minimum of once per year. Individuals without desirable driving records will not be allowed to drive a company vehicle. Prior to fueling a vehicle, raise the windows. Shut down the vehicle and remove the key and lock the door. If your vehicle doesn't have a backup alarm, honk the horn before backing up. Your blind spot is something you always must keep in mind while operating a machine. Listen up and remember these safety essentials regarding blind spots. Establish eye contact with the operator approaching the machine. Signal your intentions and make sure they acknowledge you. Stay a minimum of 20 feet away from any moving equipment. Each piece of equipment is different and has more than one blind spot. As you can see our construction worker appear and disappear from view, it becomes readily apparent that we all must monitor our surroundings for employees and other equipment. Stay aware and stay safe. First aid kits are available in several locations, including all pickup trucks and all TJLambrecht job site trailers. Superintendents and most foremen are trained in first aid and CPR. If more than first aid is necessary, look for directions to local clinics and hospitals on the job site employment board. No task can end properly if it wasn't begun properly, which is why TJLambrecht starts each work week with a toolbox talk that provides information and training to familiarize you with the many aspects of your job and the job site. Further, each day begins with a Safety Task Analysis, STA, in which your supervisor meets with the entire crew to discuss the work plan for the day. Items covered will include which employees will be working in which areas, the tasks they will be performing, traffic flow, special hazards to consider and how to deal with them, and any other considerations that could impact the safety, quality, or productivity of the day's activities. Additionally, TJLambrecht conducts a series of stretches at the start of every shift and again at lunchtime. These exercises have been specifically designed for our environment and work practices. Your body works exactly the same as a professional athlete's. You don't see them going to a game without warming up, do you? TJLambrecht considers all of these items of utmost importance. Your participation is required. All hand tools and electrical cords are to be inspected prior to use. Additionally, all guards on tools are to be left intact. Electrical cords must be formally inspected quarterly. A designated person in your department that has been trained to do so will conduct the inspections. Even though they may have had their formal quarterly inspection, each cord must be inspected prior to use. A daily inspection discovered the dangers of this cord. Things to look for are cords that are not 3-wire type, cords that are not factory assembled, cords that have defective plugs, exposed wires, or have been modified and are not marked for hard, extra hard usage. This cord was not factory assembled and had exposed wires. If a cord needs repair, let your supervisor know and it will be properly repaired. Here are some powder-actuated tools. These require specialized training, so do not use them unless you have received such training. Ladders all need to be extra heavy-duty Type 1A and must be inspected prior to use. Step ladders are only to be used in the fully spread position with the arms locked. Do not use the ladder in a leaning position. Follow these 5 steps when using an extension ladder. 1. Extend ladder 3 feet above the surface. 2. Tie off ladder at top. 3. Maintain 3 points of contact at all times when climbing ladder. 4. Don't use if ladder has broken rungs. 5. For every 4 feet in height, put the ladder 1 foot back. Chemical exposure can contribute to a number of serious health problems. A chemical is considered hazardous if it is labeled as flammable, explosive, eye irritant, requires well-ventilated area, carcinogenic, corrosive, sensitizing, target organ affecting. In compliance with federal regulations, TJLambrecht has developed a specific hazard communication program unique to our work areas. This program indicates who to contact in the event of a chemical emergency, how TJLambrecht will distribute information, work practice training procedures, and methods of detecting chemicals in your workplace. Your supervisor will inform you of the specific chemicals and their exposure routes specific to your work area. A copy of the written program is located in the office trailer and/or your supervisor's vehicle. The HAZCOM program also contains Material Safety Data Sheets, MSDS. Every MSDS sheet has very important information: the hazards associated with the chemical, the signs and symptoms of overexposure, the proper PPE to use when handling the product, and what to do in the event of overexposure. The program is perpetual, and anytime a new chemical enters the workplace or there has been a change in procedure, your training will be updated. Remember the following when handling gas cylinders. Keep away from heat over 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep away from water, corrosive substances. Make sure all cylinders are secured with a chain. Keep oxygen at least 20 feet away from flammable compressed gases. Propane must be stored outside. Keep out of sun. Open valves slowly. When it comes to compressed air, all hoses, connections, and tools should be checked daily. At no time should compressed air be used to dust off clothes or people. Compressed air is dangerous and should not be treated in a joking or lackadaisical manner. Never point airstream directly at yourself or others. Several types of permits are required at TJLambrecht. Any confined space requires special training, personnel, equipment, and permits. If you have not been trained or properly equipped, never enter any confined space. Examples of typical confined spaces at TJLambrecht are the tanks on these trucks and any underground sewer location. Other examples of permits that may be required on your site are hot work permits and excavation permits. Ask your supervisor if you're not sure if one is required. Finally, let's recap this video and briefly run through the TJLambrecht rules to live by. 1. No drugs or alcohol. TJLambrecht is a drug and alcohol-free environment. Prior to going to work, you'll be screened for use of illegal drugs and alcohol. If you're on prescription drugs that may impair your ability to operate or work around heavy machinery, you must inform your supervisor. 2. The PPE promise. TJLambrecht will provide the hard hats, safety vests, ear protection, and other equipment to do the work safely. You just have to wear it. 3. No riders. If you do not have a seat, then use your feet. Machine buckets and tailgates are not seats. 4. Get a grip. Always use 3 points of contact when getting on or off a machine. Never jump from a machine. 5. Don't be a tough guy. Get help lifting heavy or awkward loads. 6. Seatbelts save jobs. Seatbelts are required while operating all TJLambrecht equipment and vehicles, including pickup trucks. If you do not want to wear a seatbelt, then stay home. 7. Call waiting. Use of iPod or headsets of any kind is prohibited. If you must use a cell phone, pull the machine to the side and stop your activity. 8. Lock it down. All mechanics must properly tag and lock out any equipment that is out of service, and no employee will attempt to operate any equipment that has been tagged and locked out. 9. Walk of shame. At no time is an employee ever to walk alongside or stand next to a truck while it is dumping a load. Stand in front where the driver can see you. 10. Know your job. Never operate a tool or piece of equipment that you have not been properly trained on. The machine does not have a brain. Use yours. 11. Know until you know. Always know where overhead wires are located, and no excavation can take place until all underground site utilities have been verified and all possible conflicts recorded. 12. Let them know you are there. If you cannot see an operator or driver, they cannot see you. Make sure a visual contact to alert them to your presence. 13. Take responsibility. When you see a hazard, correct it or inform your supervisor. If you're not sure of something, ask. 14. Say something so we can do something. Immediately report unsafe conditions, unsafe equipment, unsafe actions, accidents, and injuries to your supervisor so proper action can be taken. All accidents and injuries must be reported immediately. Failure to do so could cost you your employment. Remember, safety is everyone's first priority at TJLambrecht. Your family depends on you. Make safety your first responsibility too.